A man in China once told me a lot of conflicts never get resolved, all because of face issues. Who is willing to set aside face and take the first step? Are you? Now, some of you might be thinking, what's the big deal about face? What is face? Perhaps you grew up in a Western culture where face is hardly talked about, even though it's present. If I mention phrases such as lose face, give face, or save face, you might start to have an idea of what I'm referring to, right? Now, if you're Chinese or from a number of other cultures around the world, and I talk about face issues and their impact on conflict, you might sigh, nod, and say something like, face issues make resolving conflict so complicated. Very simply put, in Chinese culture, a person feels they possess face when they perceive that their reputation in the eyes of others is intact. Our perception of how others view us forms the basis for our personal sense of integrity and honor. In many cultures around the world, not only Chinese cultures, to lose face is a serious issue. So what causes a loss of face? Those I interviewed for my doctoral research in China described how admitting a mistake, or a weakness, or a shortcoming, or sin causes one to lose face. If you apologize, it means that you're admitting you did something wrong, so that causes face loss. And to be wrong in front of others, especially to have your fault pointed out in front of others, causes huge face loss. When you do these things, you perceive that your reputation in the eyes of others has been tarnished or damaged. Now, whether or not it actually has been tarnished is another story. One person told me of the time he had written his home address incorrectly on an important form that had potential to impact his future, so he lost an opportunity for advancement. His dad said to him, "How is it that you've even written your home address incorrectly? You can't even do that right." Now, even though he knew he had made the mistake, this 20-year-old refused to admit his mistake to his dad. He said to me, "At that time, I fought as if my life depended on it. It felt like someone wanted to tear away my clothes, and I had to do everything I could to keep my clothes on. I stopped thinking rationally." That loss of face caused by admitting his mistake, in his mind, was simply not acceptable. He felt he must preserve his face at all costs. But was it worth what he paid? Another man told me, "In my heart, I know that face is something that only hurts us. The more you care about face, the more you hurt yourself." Face is fragile, easily impacted by what others say or do. But is it bad? Should we try to get rid of face? Like those I interviewed, I have also viewed face as hurting and hindering, as something akin to or significantly impacted by pride. So I was blown away with excitement when I learned from Dr. Chris Flanders in his book about face that a different perspective on face is available to us. My book, Changing Normal, takes a deep dive in this subject of face and its impact on conflict and reconciliation. To purchase my book, click on the link below. And lastly, if you'd like to gain new insight into resolving conflicts, or if you're just wondering why this white American provides training for Chinese in Mandarin or English, check out my website at jolenekinzer.com.